So earlier I showed you guys how to draft an outline for a written essay, and I showed you guys first my cheat sheets and then kind of walked you guys through how to do the outline. What I want to do now is to show you how to draft a speech, and this is for the oral citation. Before I go any further in it, I want to states that you do not have to draft a speech for your oral citation. This is not something that you are required to do, not in this class at least. If you choose to draft a speech, that's fine. If you're one of those very talented people who can remember all your sources from memory, fantastic, you don't need a speech. But some of us are kind of a little less talented. And so we need to kind of do a speech to kind of help us navigate through the speech that we're going to do or the oral citation that we're going to do. So I just wanted to get that out of the way so that there is no confusion that I have any expectation of anyone to draft a speech. When you're doing your oral citation, I'm not going to require you to submit a script. All that I'm going to be looking for is whether you are able to do oral citation in your video submission, and that's it. And so, one of the reasons why I recommend doing speech, and also remember this is strictly for your own use, is because unlike written essays, where you can just do your in-text citation in this way, and so it kind of stays very simple, and then you have the benefit of a bibliography or a reference list that kind of writes out all the information about the article, making it easier for somebody else to go back and check what it is that the source that you're citing. With a speech, with an oral citation, you don't quite have that leeway. So, which means that you have to kind of provide as much identifying information in your speech or in your citation as possible, so that someone who is listening or your audience will be able to identify which text it is that you are citing, which means that you need to provide information such as the name of the authors, the title of the article, the year it was published, or the let's say if there's any professional association any of the organization or any of the authors is affiliated with, you can provide that information. So, and some of those information may be a little bit too detailed for most people to kind of be able to say off the top of their head. So that is the only reason why I recommend writing out a speech, or at least keeping track of having a written a way of tracking what your citation is. But other than that, by all means, you don't need a speech. Just do it the way that you want to do it. So, with that said, let's get right into it. So, this is the speech, right? This is the speech that has this. So, sorry, this is the introduction from the last from the last draft that I did. Say you want to do translate this introduction, this written essay, into a speech form in the way that you would say it if you were doing an oral citation. So what we want to do right now is to take this information and try to make it into a speech format. So I'm going to copy that and bring it down here. So it could still stay with the impact of COVID was spent, or this and this is according to. So instead of just saying according to the 2020 article by Lim Ethal, I'm going to have to provide a little bit more information about it. I could say 2000 article published under, let's find out the name of the publication. I think this is okay. Now this is not this is not the article that I was looking for. I found question number of it. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, so this is the article. I want to find the name of the publication. So that is the Annals of Academy of Medicine, Singapore. So that is the name of the publication. So according to the article by Lim et al., published in the Annals of Academy Annals of the Academy of Medicine Singapore. So this will be where the citation is. I'm going to highlight it so that you see the difference between what it is like to do it in oral citation versus doing it in an essay. According to the 2020 article by Lim et al., published in the Annals of Academy of Medicine, Singapore, titled, and let's pull out the name or the title of the paper. This is what it is titled. Sorry. So it is titled Autism Spectrum Disorder and COVID, Helping Caregivers Navigate the Pandemic. So the let's see, the implication of COVID 19 on a vulnerable population, i.e., on children with autism spectrum disorder was discussed, right? So now I've cited. I can go ahead and now say what it was that was discussed inside it. So let's go back here and see if we can pull out that information. Okay, I'm trying to pull out the information from there. Let's see. hmm I'm trying to pull out. I'm trying to find information from here that has to do. So I can talk about. I can pull out the where they talked about. It is estimated, was discussed in the article. Copy an estimated, an estimate, an estimated number of 50,000 children in Singapore have been were diagnosed or have been diagnosed with ADS, autism spectrum disorder. So in this case, you are if you're going to talk about if you're going to use any acronym, in this case ACD. Remember, this is a speech. You have to spell it out. You don't use acronyms unless you have, first of all, spelt it out. Also, it will be 50, an estimated number of 50,000 children have in Singapore have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. ACD. That's so that the next time you continue saying, making the information, you just say ACD without having to spell out autism spectrum disorder. So, but this is the oral citation that you've done. Still the same information that you have with your uh, essay that you kind of have with the oral citation. So with the speech. Now let me copy this essay and put it kind of below the oral citation so that you see the difference. In the essay, you are only using this. This is just what you're using for your citation, for your in-text citation, and then more information about this author would then be provided in your reference list on your bibliography. With a speech on an oral citation, you have to more or less spell out that citation, because that's the only way that your audience is going to be able to find enough identifying information to try to track the the article that you're referencing. Otherwise, if you don't provide enough information, it becomes very difficult for your audience to try to verify where your information is gotten from. You might as well just say studies say, the way people always say studies say without referencing what the study says. It's just about the same thing. If you don't provide enough information about the article that you're citing, it becomes very difficult for someone to find it, to try to verify the information that you have in it. So now let me clear this up. Now let's take another information. This was from the essay. Let's put it here. And it says families around the world are faced with questions about how to support children under the conditions. Okay, you can just take that out. And it says one of the um, stress, one of the kinds, the reported kind of stress experienced by parents of children with ACD. Now I can keep on talking. I can say is ASD rather than spelling out autism spectrum disorder, because it has already been spelled out here. So I don't need to spell it out, because I've indicated that ACD stands for autism spectrum disorder. So that's the it's easy to say. So one of the reported types of stress experienced by parents of children with ACD, um, uh, include like having a greater risk to their psychological and health related quality of life. This is according to, let's cite this gentleman. This is according to this fellow that we've had here in their article published in 2000 and colleagues. I can use and colleagues. Published in, let's pull out the information. When was it published? 2018. Published in 2018. Titled the title is Mental Health Parents for Disorder. Yeah. So that's that. So this becomes the other oral citation right now. So you have to include your citation. Now we have. I talked about transition words. So now I've written one thing, and now how do we combine this information to this information? We do that using what is called transition words, right? We use it. I'm sorry. I'm very particular when it comes to how things look. Sorry. All right. So we do that when using transition words. So we have one sentence and another sentence, and we want to kind of marry them together so that they don't sound as if they are coming from two different galaxies. So we want to kind of join them together so that it's kind of flowing. So this ends with in this article an estimated number of 50,000 children in Singapore were diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Um, in another article exploring the psychological exploring the stress experienced by children in another article, sorry. Exploring the stress experienced by children with this thing. I can take this off, comma, and put it this in sorry, in said in published an article, published the article. Uh, and the research published the article. Take this off. All right. So now I have put in transition words. So in this case, in another research, has kind of merged the two information that I have. So you can say in another research, or you could say in similar in according similarly, which is another way of using transition words, instead of saying in another research similarly, or similar to the article by them and colleagues, um, Catalano and colleagues published an article. So there are so many ways that we could use to use transition words here. This is one of the transition words, and this is another transition word. So you can have two transition words that we can use to take two different ideas and put them in the same sentence or kind of in a speech, so that this way, to the audience who is listening, there is a progression between what was said earlier and what was said later. Now, transition words are very, very important with oral citation, because remember, the person who is listening to your oral citation does not have the benefit of a text or a paper or a written form to be able to follow what you're saying. So all that they can rely on is the words that are coming out of your mouth. So you have to make it as easy enough for them to follow what you're saying through using transition words. So you that's what I want to say here. So you don't have to write a speech. Like I said, you don't need to write a speech in order to do your oral citation. But sometimes writing a speech does help you in organizing your oral citation so that it looks neat and professional in the way in the same way as a written essay is meant to do. Remember, as I said, an oral citation is an oral speech, an oral essay per se. So when you think about oral citation as an oral essay, it will help you in realizing just how to approach making them, and do it in such a way that it stays very professionally done. I hope this is helpful to you. Have a lovely day. Bye.